Hello, my girls. I'm really excited to be here with you guys today. There is something that's been on my heart that I feel like I need to share. And the reason I feel like I need to share it is because it's something that I need to hear. So, everything that I am posting, all of the videos that I am showing, these are real time videos of things that I have learned and things that I have done. So I have been learning how to heal out of survival mode. So, survival mode basically is where we feel like we are outrunning a bear or we are trying to survive a really dangerous situation. And in today's world, most of us are living in survival mode, meaning our adrenaline is really high and we're just constantly go, 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 go. We don't give ourselves time to rest and relax because we feel like it's not safe. Like we literally have to keep that adrenaline really, really high so that we can function, so that we can survive. So when we are living in this survivor mode for a long period of time, it's very exhausting for our bodies and for our energies and for our emotions because we were not designed to live in fight or flight for very long, right? We were not designed to live in this survival mode for very long. This survival mode was supposed to kick in, really boost our adrenaline so that we could outrun the bear. We could outrun whatever it is that is going to cause us harm. But then we were supposed to be able to go back into rest and relax, where we are able to kind of not neutralize, but just relax our nervous system, where we can be like, okay, we're safe, we can get back to our daily living. But unfortunately, right now, we are all really, really living in that survival mode, with just that go, 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 go pace. So, how do we get out of that? And I didn't even know that I was in survival mode. Like, it's just what I was doing to survive, but I was always burnt out. I was always tired. I was always really, really anxious. And those are really good indications that you are living in survival mode. So, how do we get out of survival mode? How do we get back to that rest and relaxed state where we're supposed to be living most of the time? And this is what came up for me when I was doing my inner work on it, when I was meditating, when I was asking, how do I get out of this survival mode? What is it that I need to do? I am a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And as such, I am very, very close to my heavenly parents. I have a very strong relationship with them. I am Christian to the core. I love my heavenly parents. And so, what I learned for me is that in order for me to get out of survival mode, I have to know what it feels like to be in that rest and relaxed state. So, how do you get to that rest and relaxed state when there's so much going on and there's so much stimulus going on around us, causing us to stay in that fight or flight? So, meditation for me is how I force myself to relax and force myself to get to that state of calm. So, what I started to do is every day, this was back, it's probably been 8 months ago now that I really started doing this. And I would set a timer for an hour. And I would try to do every single day, but sometimes that just didn't work. So I would at least do Monday through Thursday because that's when my kids were in school and I did have that time. But please know that there is always time for what is important for you. So there were days where, like on a Saturday or a Sunday or Friday, even when there was a lot going on, I did find time if I felt like I really needed it. So even if you're really busy, please know that you can find time for what is important. And it doesn't have to be a whole hour. It can be shorter increments if you need to. Just do what feels right for your body. But set a timer for that time that feels right for you. Put on some music. I really like on YouTube, there is a channel that has meditation music. And I really like that. I don't care for guided meditation mainly because I want my mind and my body to go where my mind and my body need to go. But 100%, if guided meditation feels good for you, for sure, do that. This is just what I do personally, what feels good for me. So I would set a timer for an hour and I would just sit for that hour in the silence with the music. And I would just let my mind, I'm not going to say wander because I wouldn't let it wander necessarily, but I would let it go where it needed to go. And before I started my meditations, I would ask my heavenly parents and I would say, this is what I'm really struggling with. Please help me. Please show me. Please tell me what I need to know. And what I learned through this, when I first started doing these meditations, it wasn't for me to be able to get out of survival mode. I didn't know that that's what it was. I didn't know that that's what I was living in at the time. The reason I was doing the meditations is because I was needing to reconnect with myself and I was wanting to reconnect with my heavenly parents. I was wanting to remember the connection that we had before I had come to earth because I was feeling very alone. I was feeling very unloved. I was feeling very unnecessary. I was just feeling a lot of really sad and hard emotions. And so I found for me that this time of connection with my heavenly parents, it gave them an opportunity to tell me how much they loved me. And it gave me an opportunity to feel and to see how much they loved me. So while I was doing this, those quiet moments, that is where I started to recognize what it felt like to be in the rest and relax state. Sorry, you can hear my alarm system going off. My kids are going in and out through the back door. But those quiet moments is where I remembered, I guess, what it felt like to be in that rest and relax state. And it felt so good. Well, actually, let me back up. It didn't feel good, actually, because I had been in the fight or flight for so long. It was actually extremely uncomfortable for the first, 2 or 3 weeks that I was doing this. It was extremely uncomfortable. I would feel very anxious through most of the meditation. So like for the first 30 minutes of my meditation, I was really anxious. And I kept thinking, well, I need to go do this and I need to go do that. And I don't have time for this. And this is going to happen. Or what if this person comes home? Or what if this disrupts me? Like there was just so much going on in my mind and it did not want to sit still. It wanted to tell me that I needed to be doing something constantly. And so it was very, very uncomfortable for the first 30 minutes, pretty much every single time. Sorry, there goes my alarm again. But for the first 30 minutes, it was very uncomfortable for a long time, for a couple of weeks. And even still, there were a couple days after I got over that hump where I would be like, I just don't have time for this. And I had to force myself and be like, Adele, you don't have time not to do this. Because what I started to find when I was doing these meditations is one, that it was okay for me to sit for an hour and do nothing. Nobody was going to die. I wasn't going to die. And actually, when I finished my meditations, I had so much more energy and I felt so much more alive that I was able to be so much more productive. So it was like I was giving up that hour, but I was gaining so much energy. So I was able to do more than I ever would have been able to do with that 1 hour that I had lost. So I learned that because I was in that survival mode, I didn't even know what it felt like to be calm and to be rested. And when I started doing those meditations and really forced myself to be in that calm and relaxed state, I started to want that more. And that's when I started to recognize, I don't think that we're supposed to live our life in this much adrenaline, this much go, go, go. And so it started to feel more comfortable for me to be rested and relaxed. So it was really, really cool to learn how to teach my body how to rest, how to relax, because it didn't know how before. So if that is you, like if you feel like you are constantly in this go go go, this fight or flight, like you're super tired all the time, you're having a hard time sleeping, you're having a hard time being motivated, you just want to sit on the couch and do nothing, you are living in survival mode and your body is trying so hard to continue to function. But we were never supposed to function in that much adrenaline. Okay, we were supposed to, yes, be able to outrun the bear, but then we were supposed to be able to, when we were safe, to regulate and to get back to our calm, rested state. So do the meditations. Those really help to teach your body what it feels like to be rested. And then once it knows what it feels like to be rested, and once it knows that you're not going to die, then you will start craving that more. And what's really, really cool about this is when you start recognizing what it feels like to be rested and what it feels like to be high on adrenaline, then you can start structuring your day around more rested and relaxed things. Those start to feel more familiar to you, because right now they don't feel familiar, because that's not what's safe or what's normal for us. And so find those opportunities to be still. Find those opportunities to connect to yourself. And it's really, really cool when you are spending that time connecting with your Heavenly Father and with your Heavenly Mother, you start to gain a sense of importance, but not like importance of the world, but a sense of importance from them. And it gives you permission to say, I need to and I want to spend more time in this relaxed state. Like, it's okay. It's safe. This world, we are so obsessed with the doing, with the achieving, with the doing, with the making sure that it looks like we are busy and that we're doing. And not as much emphasis or importance is put on just being. And that is definitely part of that survival mode, being in that survival mode, feeling like in order to be important, in order to be worthy of recognition, worthy of love, you have to be performing and constantly putting something out so that you can be recognized as important. But what if your importance came just because you are who you are? Like, what if you started making that your most important thing throughout the day? What if the most important thing that you can give is to just show up as you and not as having to perform something or to complete something? When we show up that way, we are more productive, we are more present, we are more capable of giving the love and the attention that others and we need. So when we're living in this survival mode, it's super backwards. So we're living in this survival mode because we think that we have to perform and we have to show the other people that we are worthy of being loved. But if we can reverse it and do the other thing and just show up knowing that we are loved, knowing that we are worthy, we give out more things that are of actual value to ourselves and the people around us. It is like the coolest thing that when we can connect to our Heavenly Parents and let them tell us what our worth is and who we are to them, it doesn't matter now about the recognition that we would get from the world. And really the recognition from the world, the recognition from other people, it feels good for a minute, but then it's like a drug, because then we feel like we have to then continue to try to get that again. That it's not a lasting recognition. It's not a lasting sense of worth or a sense of love. It's only based on what you were able to put out. Whereas when we take that time and we really remember and reconnect with our Heavenly Parents, then that worth, that is just intrinsic. Like, that's just who we are. We are loved. We are so loved by our Heavenly Parents. And when we can know that, then it doesn't matter whether or not we're putting out what other people think that we should, because we're putting out what feels good to us, and what feels good to us is always going to be the right thing to put out. So to heal from survival mode, you have got to reconnect with yourself and with your heavenly parents. You have to let them show you how good it feels to be rested and to be loved just for who you are. That is the first and the most important thing that you can do when you are trying to survive out or trying to heal out of that survival mode, is remembering who you are in the bigger picture. Okay, you don't need to perform. You don't need to show up as a certain type of person. You don't need to have certain types of accomplishments. You just need to know that you are loved and that you are special, and that there is nothing that you can do or say that is going to take away that love. I think oftentimes, and I don't know if this is in all religions or whatnot, but oftentimes we put the love that our heavenly parents have for us as like transactional, as humans would love us, right? So like when we're children, when we behave well or when we do good things, then our parents love us in our minds. I think that generally, hopefully generally, parents love their children simply because they are their children. But we're definitely conditioned that, okay, well, if I don't throw a fit and if I do what my parents say, then my life is easier. Or the same thing like when you're dating or when you get married. If I do what my boyfriend or my spouse wants, then he will love me, or then he will do X, Y, and Z for me. And we cannot put human characteristics on our heavenly parents. Like, we just can't do that. We have to be super, super careful not to do that, because our heavenly parents are perfect and they genuinely do love us simply because we are their children. There is nothing that we can do or say that is going to take away that love. I can be an unkind person and I can decide not to follow the commandments, and I can decide not to do the things that maybe I know that my heavenly parents would want me to do, and they would still love me. I would still be valuable to them. They would never stop loving me. They don't get their feelings hurt. They don't get offended. They don't decide to cut you off because you didn't do something the way that they wanted you to do. They always, always love you, and they're always, always there, ready to continue showing you how much they love you no matter what you do. And I think that that was one of the biggest things that I learned as I was doing the meditation, that it doesn't matter what I do, they love me no matter what. And if they can love me no matter what I do, and no matter what I put out into the world, then maybe it would be okay for me to love me no matter what I do. Does that make sense? Like, maybe it's okay if I am not the most high functioning mom on Mondays. Maybe it's more of like a relaxed day and it's a little bit more chill. Maybe I didn't do the laundry on Monday. Does that make me any less valuable? Does that make me any less lovable? It doesn't. Of course that doesn't. And then you can like look at it on like a grander scheme. Like, what if you don't do, I don't know, you fill in the blank. Like, what if I don't do X, Y, and Z? Does that make me any less lovable to my heavenly parents? No, of course not. Then can it make me any less lovable for myself? No, it shouldn't. Like, you should always have that love for yourself. And when you can do that, you allow your body to rest. Because really what we are trying to do, we are trying so hard to get our own validation from ourselves. But instead of looking inward and instead of looking upward, we look sideways. We want our parents to validate us. We want our siblings to validate us. We want our children or our spouse or our coworkers. We want so many people to validate us, and that causes us to constantly be trying to put something out that is of worth. When really what we need to do is we need to step back and we need to look within ourselves and we need to say, what do I have that is of worth? And it's not really even what, it's who. Like just who you are is enough. Who you are is enough. You are loved no matter what you do, no matter what you put out into the world. And when you can connect to that, and when you can recognize that, and when you can settle into that and really feel it, like there is some feeling that comes, I can't really explain it, but when you really can feel that, then you stop trying to chase the validation from other people. When you stop chasing the validation from other people, you're getting yourself out of survival mode. When you're getting yourself out of survival mode, you're able to show up more authentically, more genuinely, and with so much more power and purpose. It's like we do things backwards, and we need to start doing things forwards. Connecting with your heavenly parents, connecting with yourself, and just showing up the way that you feel like you need to show up. Find those times to really connect. Learn or teach your body what it feels like to be rested. And I am not kidding you guys. It is going to be hard. For the first little bit, it's going to be super uncomfortable. You're going to feel that you need to go and do something. Your mind is going to be fighting tooth and nail to tell you that you need to do something else. And that is simply because you have been conditioned to always be on the go, 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 go. Okay, it's not because you are actually in danger of resting. It's that your mind thinks that you're in danger because it's never had the opportunity to rest. So when you can teach your mind and your body that it's safe to rest, you will be blown away at the changes that will come. I promise you guys, it is one of the most powerful things that I have ever done. I've been doing inner work and I've been doing different things for the last 20 years. And every single one of those compounded has gotten me to where I am. But I think that one of the most powerful things that I have done has been the meditation. And I have been so resistant to it for years. My sister's been telling me probably for the last 8 years to do meditation. Like she was so adamant on it. She was like, you got to do meditation every single day. And I was like, I don't have time to do meditation every single day. Like I didn't have the time for it. And so I kept pushing it off. While I was pushing it off, I was also doing other things, which is okay. Like I think that we do the things that are right for us in the time that is right for us. So I was doing other things that got me to the point where I could decide I don't have time not to do this. And so I started doing that. And I started really connecting, and I started teaching myself what it feels like to be rested and to connect and to remember who I am. And that made all the difference. So my challenge to you guys is find some time to start meditating. Even if it's just 30 minutes a day, even if it's just 15 minutes a day. I like to push myself a little bit because your mind is going to get in a tizzy and it's going to want to tell you that it doesn't have time, that it's not safe. But when you can give your brain and your body proof, look, we did sit for an hour, we didn't die, we are okay, and we feel better afterwards. When you can give your body proof, then it makes it easier to do it the next time. So push yourself just a little bit. If you have 15 minutes, make it 20. If you have 20 minutes, make it 25 or 30. Like push yourself just a little bit so that you can teach your body, look at us, we are safe and it's okay. And then once you do that, the next time it will be easier. And you will notice that you will have more energy because you're not trying to survive. Now you are ready to live and you're ready to give more because you are in that rested state. I love you guys. You are loved. And I am so grateful for the information and the knowledge that I have. And I hope that this is something that can help you guys. If there's a topic or if there's something that you're struggling with or that you want more information on, please leave a comment and let me know so that I can give the information that will be helpful to you. I will talk to you later. Bye.